As dark skies and heavy clouds roll in above, a battle of the Carolinas takes place below, with one team looking to break the streak and the other looking to continue theirs. Hello and welcome into Elon. Grace Stetler alongside Charlie Eldridge as the Elon Phoenix take on the North Carolina State Wolfpack. But before we get set here at Redfield, let's zoom in on the player who's been doing it all for the Wolfpack. The junior forward out of Canada has really been the offensive bright spot throughout the first 6 games this season.
That's right, Grace. Jade Bordelot, who's accounted for 2 of NC State's goals so far this season and is the leader of this offense. She netted a brace against Western Carolina earlier this season, but she has yet to find the net since. But she is certainly someone that this Elon backline and this Elon keeper needs to watch out for tonight.
Well, we'll flip the script and talk about the home team and the sophomore star in goal. With 19 saves to her name this season, Katie Bisgrove has helped her team to 4 straight shutouts in goal.
That's right. Bisgrove has been a stone wall this year, to put it lightly, especially like you mentioned recently with her past 4 games for the Phoenix, keeping a clean sheet in all 4. And tonight she's hoping to make it to 10.5 on her career on that tally. And let me tell you, this is certainly not the opponent that NC State wants in net if they're trying to tally on more goals for the season with just 3 so far.
And we welcome you in to a rainy night here, Thursday night at Elon University. A bit of a delay. We'll talk about it as the match goes on, but we're going to kind of get started here about 30 minutes late. We're going to take a quick look at both of our head coaches, starting on the opposing side with NC State. Gary Higgins, following 3 seasons at East Carolina, now first season at NC State. He guided East Carolina to their first conference title in the 30-year history of the program. The Wolfpack's definitely excited to have him alongside.
Yeah, they brought in Higgins this season from ECU, like you mentioned. Brought some baggage with him. He brought some of his staff, brought a couple of his players. But the issue this year, he's yet to rack up a win through 6 games for the Wolfpack. Obviously, he's going to hope to change that here tonight.
Look on the other side for the home team. You got a guy who's kind of in his veteran years now at Elon, Coach Neil Payne. He's in his 7th season at Elon with Elon, as Elon's head women's soccer coach. Started now in his 7th season. Like I said, he was named the 8th head coach in Elon women's soccer program history back in 2018.
Yeah, Payne's been off to a good start so far this season. The Phoenix yet to lose a game so far. Definitely a hot start. They're looking to keep this up so far. Fun fact, Elon has not beaten NC State in their matchup history. They're so far 0-16 all time against this Wolfpack side.
Well, looking at the 2 teams will face off against each other tonight. Let's take a quick look at the starting lineups. We'll start with the home squad in the Elon Phoenix.
Katie Bisgrove, Ridgewood, New Jersey, goalkeeper. Ashley Brio, Hopkinton, New Hampshire, forward.
Megan Dwyer, Midlothian, Virginia, defender.
Grace Scalehouse, Woodstock, Connecticut, defender.
Issa Murdoch, Colorado Springs, Colorado, forward.
Ava Hellner, Waxhaw, North Carolina, defensive center mid.
And looking to flip the script here one more time, let's talk opposing lineups as Charlie introduces you to the Wolfpack.
Yeah, for the Wolfpack over here, starting off, bit of a balanced formation so far, going here with a 4-3-3 for the Wolfpack. Starting out with Protopis in goal, Aoki in the defense, more in the defense as well. In the back line, also having Holt and Smith. In the midfield, we've got Siamese, and we also have Nakata and Wong. And at the top, we have Daisy Duda, Jade Bordalo, as we mentioned earlier, our player to watch, and Erica Roberts to round up that top formation. 4-3-3, bit of a balanced formation here for the Wolfpack early on.
Well, you talk both sides, right, of the lineups, and two teams that have seen each other a decent amount of times, about 16 between the two squads. The most recent match between the teams back in 2022 on September 1st. It was a contest in which Elon scored first, and then NC State rallied with those next two goals for them to be able to secure the victory. So a familiar squad with one another, but as we mentioned in the open, two teams off to a very different start this season.
Yeah, you could kind of see it become more of a level playing field for both of these teams. Wolfpack definitely struggling to start out this season, and then on the other hand, Elon, who's been on a roll.
A lot of back and forth action we've seen so far. I mean, the weather's definitely going to play an effect. You'll see a beautiful Elon sunrise that finally decided to break through as we were in a 30-minute delay. Coaches were talking back and forth a little bit on what was going to be going on, but the game decided to keep moving forward. It looks like the sun is going to start to break as it begins to set, and the rain has kind of continued a little bit, but it was heavy at one point, so you wonder how much the field conditions will have on the players tonight.
Yeah, we saw, operations on the team before squeegeeing the field, trying to get a little bit of water off here. Definitely an interesting scene, seeing the sunset and rain at the same time. I can't say I've seen that too many times in my life, but looks very pretty.
For Elon right now, a quick foul down low, looking to set themselves up here. That was on that was on Elon, so NC State with the chance to set themselves up a little bit. But I mean, we mentioned coming off of two very different starts, and you can't mention that enough. Right now, the Elon Phoenix they're sitting at that 4-0 record. They're coming off not only 4 wins, but they're coming off of 4 clean sheet games. That means that they shut out all 4 teams in which they were playing, and I think what's really impressive about that is the girl in goal.
Of course, it's definitely a testament to KDB. She's been astounding. Second time in 3 weeks she was named CAA Defensive Player of the Week, and that's definitely a morale boost for the Phoenix going into this one.
She really almost served as the anchor for the Elon defense. I mean, you got to credit the Elon defense for everything that they did, right, to prevent anything from really reaching her end of the field. But, I mean, on top of that, I think she's done an excellent job. She stopped a pair of shots to blank the Royals before making 7 saves against their last game against High Point. The 7 stops were only 1 shy of her season high, which she got in the first match of the season, as we have a little bit of action down low. Pass on the inside, but easily broken up by that Elon defense. A great job there down low. Again, we were talking it and we timed it up perfectly on that and seeing how they came through.
Just great defensive work right there from the sophomore Hill, doing a great job. She's really stepped up so far this season. She's been great in that back line. It's definitely helped KDB get some more support.
Well, we'll have a corner here now from NC State, looking to kind of, again, offensively maybe do something that they haven't so far this season. And a pass on the inside, but again, in Bisgrove just perfectly standing up, hopping up, grabbing the ball, and coming down clean.
That's textbook goalkeeping right there. That's everything you want from your keeper on a corner kick. Able to track that ball perfectly, get it right in your hands, and keep it away from the Wolfpack.
It's almost like the anticipation she has in goal, right? The ability to wait and watch it come to her, but know her skill will speak for itself.
It's certainly impressive.
A little bit of back and forth here. Elon's going to kind of work the right-hand side of the field. A nice pass, but got away from Gelhaus up front. And NC State just looking to get it out of dangerous territory, but we'll mention a little bit about each of the past games that they played. Start with Elon. Elon able to secure the win at High Point with that 1-0 road victory against the Panthers. And, you know, it was a really excellent job in what she was able to do. It was a quick score on the end, and that's honestly, I think, what it was really big, right, for Elon to be able to continue that streak.
In that game, it was Beck's just her second goal of her career, which, I mean, talk about a way to add on number 2, and her first game winner, which got to be a moment right there for the youngster.
She converted in the 77th minute following an Isa Murdoch attempt. It was, again, her second career goal, first ever game-winning goal. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good as a, you know, coming in and, you know, stepping onto the field. That has to feel, you know, pretty confident as a sophomore to have your first ever game-winning goal pretty early on in the season and to continue your team's winning streak. Those are all great things to pair together.
Yeah, momentum's definitely been the key here for the Phoenix. I mean, game after game, these guys have proven again that they can come up in clutch moments and keep this streak going so far.
Bisgrove, we've seen it a couple times now, her just trying to set it up perfectly. We'll mention NC State now because they've had a pretty challenging couple of games, but something that we had talked about a little bit is the fact that the chances are being created for NC State. It's not like they're going unnoticed. Through their first 6 matches, NC State scored just 3 goals, but they've consistently applied that pressure. That's what's been interesting for the Wolfpack as a whole.
Yeah, the key difference here for both the Phoenix and the Wolfpack is the Phoenix ability to convert on these chances, right? Because they both average about the same shots per game here, Elon with 15.2 and the Wolfpack with 13.3, but the big difference here is in the goals. Per game, NC State only getting about 0.5 and Elon having about 2.
Well, and it's what they're doing around the field. I mean, the assist count is the big difference as well. I mean, NC State's got 3 where Elon's at around 11, so I mean the movement around the field has been very different for the Wolfpack and for the Phoenix, simply because the Wolfpack are having a hard time moving it around the field. They get the chance and they can't score, and then it just becomes too much of a race for them to keep up.
And speaking about that Elon ability to move the ball around, today's formation they're going with a 4-5-1, and having 5 midfielders inside really allows you to have that kind of movement and have that kind of ability to make those passes around.
Battle at the midfield here. The brakes put on by NC State, but a couple of good moves. Galhouse falls to her feet there, but gets up quickly. And again, NC State really just playing some heavy defense, trying to keep anything away from the left-hand side of the field. We talked last time out for the Phoenix as NC State tries to make a little offensive movement happen here. But let's talk now, you know, NC State. They fell 3-0 to Utah at Ute Field. So they set the tone early, right? Utah set the tone very early with a pair of dangerous chances. But then they just kind of continue to score. And that's where like the Wolfpack couldn't keep up. As a goal up top, it hits the crossbar. It almost looks like tips off the fingers of Bisgrove. Or maybe we're going to have to take another look at that one, because that was awfully close to being NC State breaking those shutouts there. And I think we're going to take a look down low.
Wow, yeah, it hit the crossbar right there. Definitely quite the break for that Elon defense, just what they needed.
And I mean, if it was just a couple inches lower, it was going to be a between the battle of Bisgrove's fingertips and the slippery nature of the ball today, and which one was going to skate past her or not.
It's a battle of the elements right there, and luckily the Phoenix were able to keep that crossbar in the way.
But again, to continue the conversation, I mean, the Pack settled in at halftime over in Utah, but they limited the Utes to just 4 shot attempts in the first 25 minutes of the second frame. So they slowed them down. but offensively they couldn't give themselves any sort of a race to try to catch up.
Yeah, that's definitely the tough part in these late gridlock games where it's really a back and forth. It always gets into that final part of the half, that final 20 minutes or so, where that really determines who's the better team, because you have to have your ability to keep momentum going. You have to get your stamina. That's honestly the key part. That's why they let those goals in those final 20 minutes. But it's just really unfortunate to play such a good game, go out and really be giving it your all, and then that happens.
Well, and we discussed her a little bit in the open, but Jane Bordelot, I mean, she's been the biggest take out your highlighters and find her on the paper, because she's got 2 goals out of the 3 for the Wolfpack this season. So she's been the girl that I'm sure the Phoenix said, hey, if we got to watch anybody right now, it's got to be her.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier she had that brace against Western Carolina just a couple weeks ago, and she's amounting for 2 of the 3 goals for this Wolfpack side.
We're going to have a quick foul there, a free kick now for NC State. But yeah, I mean, to underscore your point, we keep talking about how they've been struggling, but Jane Bordelot, she did find the way inside and found the back of the net when it seemed like the rest of her team might have been kind of having a hard time doing so.
Yeah, I think one of the real tests for her now is, can she get that started again? Because it's been a few scoreless games for her, and the team definitely looks for her as a offensive production machine, and she's just been unable to get that done recently. She really hopes to break that.
Well, and the free kick not successful there for NC State, but they will get the ball back. But I mean, yeah, I mean, to her point, it's going to be looks like a throw-in over from the side. But I mean, that's going to be the big thing, is right, how can she kind of come into play, maybe bring in the rest of her squad. Great defense there on the inside. What a good job just to break it up. I mean, you can see players are slipping and sliding all over the field, but they're not afraid to break it up. You'll see it right there. It's an excellent example of, hey, step in, break the pass up, and that's what NC State has not figured out their way around.
Yeah, these field conditions can certainly be dangerous sometimes. You just got to keep your confidence up and not sell yourself short. As you see, get a couple NC State players falling down, slipping there because of the wetness.
Galehouse trying to make something happen, but it just looks like the ball escaped her a bit. Well, and we talked a lot about Katie Bisgrove. We'll kind of flip it to the other girl in goal, and number 1, Olivia Protopis. I mean, she, as a senior in 2025, she provided 6 key saves in a 1-1 draw at ECU. So she had a bit of action, but she's definitely going to be somebody who kind of has to step up a little bit more now, you know, in her next season, and somebody who the NC State defense has been a consistent conversation, but somebody who's got to make some plays.
And of course, it all starts with the keeper. I mean, there's definitely a lot of responsibilities placed on that defense. But a lot of the times you kind of have to look at not just the keeper, but who's in the back line as well. You know, who's allowing those balls to get back there, who's allowing those shots on goals to go by, who's not marking their man. There's a lot of questions you really need to come into before you go directly to say, hey, it's definitely the keeper's fault. But it's her senior season. That's a lot of leadership under your belt. Of course, you're expected to be a captain of this team. As we'll get a pass up here to Galehouse. That's kicked away by our subject here. But breaking off of that, as a senior, like I said, you've got experience, you've got the leadership, and you've really got to be able to just apply that. You've got to make sure that you're communicating well with your back line, giving them the confidence that they need.
Galehouse tried to chase up the ball a little bit there, wasn't able to grab it. But Dan Green, she's going to look to kind of get something going. But again, this NC State defense, they're working around the footwork of Elon as a whole.
Yeah, they've come out of the gate really competitive. They've been able to limit those chances so far for Elon. No shots allowed yet, which is really great start for this Wolfpack team. But like we said, they need to be able to keep that up. They need to be able to have that going the whole game. And then on the other end, they need those offensive chances to convert. Because it's just like, if you think about it, in another sport. If you think about it in football, I mean, you go on the field, your defense can get a ton of stops, but it doesn't really matter if your offense can't score because all it takes is one possession to flip that around. And NC State's really got to be better here at converting their offensive chances and capitalizing off of those counterattacks.
Well, Mary Frances Simes tried to move it up the field. But again, it's this Elon defense. It's like where you see one black jersey, you see about 5 or 6 white jerseys. So they're really swarming the ball in some impressive speed here. It's almost like a pressure cooker of Elon players exactly where the ball is.
And you got to give the credit here to Payne. A great scheme, great defensive scheme, making sure you're keeping pressure on. You got to intimidate those players. You got to make sure that they don't have a chance and they don't have an option to even kick it inside of the box.
A nice block there from number 6 in Manya Nakata. I will say NC State really hugging this right sideline closer to the press booth and their own sideline. Tried to get it on the inside, but over the back of the goal. Kitty Bisgrove just looked up and followed it over.
That's a great credit to the defense right there. Like you said, they're really pressuring that NC State offense, making sure they're not able to get any plays. And it showed right there. We was forced to make an awkward and a bad decision. Kind of lofted that one up, hoping it'd be across to get a header, but that one just sails right up and over the net.
Well, we'll talk the lineup of Elon in a bit, but I mean, for NC State, it's been a lineup that the freshmen have actually really had a big impact. NC State's freshmen, they made their presence felt very early. This season opener, you'll see her today. She's playing, and Daisy Duda and Emily Wong, they both were in the starting lineup, you know, and then you kind of look at it, the influence has grown, you know, many freshmen are entering the lineup, so you can kind of see in Coach Higgins, he's trying to work with, all right, being with a new team, but on top of that, how do you work in these new players with some veterans?
It's definitely important because you want to get those legs working. I mean, you always need fresh legs in a lineup, and you always need those players who got to get molded.
Bisgrove leaned, but it was way far right. It was a good defensive stop, actually, by number 22 and Alexis Pierce first. You'll see it bounce off of her, go for it again, but way right.
And it looks like Green was actually able to get a bit of a shoulder on that one, making sure that that ball from Holt stays offline.
We're going to get an opportunity again for NC State here. Statistically, they've had more offensive opportunities. Quick tap on the inside, but going to be booted on out to the left, and number 5, Megan Dwyer.
Dwyer with a great stop right there, keeping the ball out of the net and making sure no NC State players have an opportunity to come swarm and get the tap in.
But I mean, we're going from side to side here. They worked the right a little bit on the corner kicks. They're going to go to the left-hand side. So here's those chances. Charlie, it's a perfect example of they're getting the opportunities. The question is, can the capitalization come next?
Yeah, it's a great defense right here from Elon as Bisgrove makes the catch, and then she's going to throw it down.
She's just such a secure spot and goal. I mean, the defense as a whole must feel very confident in the fact that they can do it. As a little bit of passing here between Murdoch and Gelhaus, but nothing kind of came out of it. Big thing, though. I mean, Bisgrove just absolutely came up, grabbed it again. There was no questions ever even asked.
Yeah, there's a lot of security being in that back line, knowing who you have in the sticks right there, as Bisgrove is always able to make those saves and make sure that ball stays out of the inside.
A good job to maintain Elon possession there. And Ashley Brio runs up the field with it, but we talked about her, and Olivia Protapas is just going to come on out and say it's all mine.
Yeah, and it looked like it was trying to get a little pass in there to Gelhaus. Just couldn't quite find the right pass, whether it was a bit of miscommunication, whether it was a bit of just not the right way. That ball had not enough speed on it, and it was an easy one to pick up right there for Protapas.
Well, she sends it on out past the midfield line. We talked interesting fact about the idea that, all right, yeah, NC State's got a lot of freshmen, as this one is going to sail to the far left corner, and Gelhaus not able to grab it. But we talked about that, right, there's a lot of freshmen. They call themselves the Wolfpack Worldwide. Listen to this, including 6 different states and 7 different countries among the 25-player roster. That's pretty cool to say, hey, we really represent not only the country, but the world itself.
It's definitely good to have a diverse team. I mean, not only do you get, you know, a lot of the times a great culture in your locker room, as you know, a lot of players from different backgrounds mesh as well, pretty good sometimes. But it's also good to get that playing experience from different playing styles in different countries, because of course, you know, England has different play styles. Germany has different play styles. All of these academies develop these women differently and develop their players into certain play styles. That it's definitely interesting to see when they all mesh together and play like this.
A little footwork put on. Again, the slipping and slide, we're going to see it. I mean, it's going to be kind of like a tape running all night. How many times is the field going to have an impact? Or the speed of the ball, for that matter of fact. A little bit of movement on the inside. A shot taken, but excellent block there in number 16, Dan Green.
We keep talking about this great Elon defense, and I mean, they continue to prove us right. They're really keeping it secure back there tonight, making sure Bisgrove has to do minimal work. But she's getting her reps in.
And again, you'll see just a complete layout there in number 4, Ashley Brio. Kind of tricks her on the inside. NC State's offense trying to razzle-dazzle, tipped almost a little bit, it looks like. We'll have to take a look again by Bisgrove. But again, another dangerous shot there from NC State.
That one had the potential to be bad. I mean, that was almost a header right there for NC State. And that one could have been bad. I mean, that just happened to sail right by. We'll take a look here. Great cross inside. And that one just had a little bit of fingertip right there from Bisgrove. She's able to keep that ball away.
But to your point, if it wasn't, it slowed down a little bit. Could that have been an easy header from the left-hand side to hit the back of the net? Elon looking to just try to get it out of any dangerous zone here. They're going to be able to grab a free kick here as a bit of pushing and pulling will get the ball going in their way.
It's definitely a good way to start. A little attack here for Elon. We'll take another look at that foul. Just shoving on and pulling on that shirt a bit too much. Bit too much contact right there for the referee's liking. And Elon's going to be able to kick this one out.
Looked like she was going to be able to turn it there. Jenna Abu Saab wasn't able to secure the ball on the right side of the foot and just brought back. But again, it's just the offensive movement. But I mean, it's been like NC State will not let them have any sort of movement towards the net.
Yeah, no chances so far that have been presentable for this Phoenix side so far. They really need to work on wearing this defense down as that shot just goes wide of the goal.
And I mean, 4 shots for NC State and 3 corners to their name as well, as you take a look at the tip off the leg of Emily Wong. But I mean, that's been kind of the big thing in question right now, is they've really stopped. As we'll have a quick sub in number 13, Jenna Abu Saab coming out, and number 21 in Jess Beck, the hero in last game, coming in now for the Phoenix, as they've got their first corner coming on up.
See Hoshek's kind of kicking away some water over there in that corner.
A low shot to the ground, wasn't able to grab much traction on it, but Elon looking to keep it on their side. Tries to cross on in, but just wasn't able to grab it.
Yeah, Brio was just trying to make something out of nothing there. She was trying to save that play, but that one just had a little too much on it. And I think even if that ball was able to find its way into the box, it would have been offsides nonetheless.
Well, and speaking of Brio, while we have a break in the action, stick around at halftime for the story of one of Elon Soccer's own. Ashley Brio, in her time off the field and in the classroom, the computer science major and game design minor sat down with us, and it's a conversation you just don't want to miss right here at halftime on FloCollege.
I always thought about doing computer science. I was just never the smartest when it came to computers, but you know, it always astounded me. I really like game design. I really like computers, but I'm not good at math. That's kind of my flaw.
Yeah, computer and science are like two words that just don't mix too well with Grace Stetler, so I think I'm going to keep myself in the journalism and communications world for now.
That's definitely fair.
We'll have an NC State throw-in down on the right-hand side, but I mean, I think as we kind of keep on ticking here, right under 20, I think the big conversation right now is, all right, NC State, they've continued the trend. They've given themselves the offensive chances. We just haven't seen it, again, yet, reflective on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's like, I like to look at it as you're kicking it at a brick wall that's kind of loose. You're kicking it right at it, and it's just, you can see the bricks are coming off. You can see the bricks are coming off, but they just won't fall through.
It was a bit of a breakaway, but the chase was on. Good job there. And it looks like in number 22 for Elon, Alexis Pierce, what a good stop for her to put a bit of pressure on, right? Challenge her all the way down on the left-hand side.
That's definitely textbook defense right there. That's exactly what you want to do. Put pressure on your opponent, force them into making a mistake, force them into forcing that shot, kind of hitting the post right there.
Corner kick coming on in. A little far, but Bisgrove is going to hop on up and grab that one like a rebound. What a good job there from Bisgrove. Again, just making it look easy.
Yeah, that one certainly is a dream for any keeper right there. I mean, a header that doesn't have too much velocity on it, that goes right into your palms. And that was great right there from Bisgrove.
Great footwork there from Issa Murdoch. But just the pass a little overshot. I mean, Murdoch's been the forward, the junior out of Colorado, who's really been a staple in not only in goal scoring, but just in the way she's able to work the middle of the field and kind of help her team to put a little bit of pressure on the opposing team's defense.
And the interesting thing is Murdoch is the only Elon player on this team that played against NC State a couple years ago when they did play. So she has a little experience with this Wolfpack team, definitely obviously under different coaching, so the strategies are a bit different, but you're a little more familiar with the culture and how they run.
Bodies collide down in the left-hand side. We'll take a look at it. It ends up being between number 7 at NC State, Erica Roberts. Great job there to get the ball out. I mean, it was almost like perfectly timed in number 5, Megan Dwyer.
That was a great tackle right there from Dwyer. Your ability to get in front of the ball and make sure you're hitting only that ball just so you can't force that contact and give them an easy free kick right there.
That's the key. There was no foul called. It was all ball. It was clean as one goes towards the inside, but again, she is just, Bisgrove is there. But that was really big. I mean, that was perfectly timed by her as we take a quick look at the shot towards the inside. But your point, I think, highlights the fact of her defense, right? Just being able to time it, use the maybe bit of a slippery field to your advantage, and go underneath.
And it's tough here because a slippery field can have advantages to both of these teams. I mean, if you think about it on the offensive sides, your shots have a little more velocity under them depending on how you're shooting them. In addition to the fact that, you know, it has a bit of unpredictability. If you're shooting it and then the goalkeeper's kind of tracking it, that water has the ability to make it, you know, maybe go another way. But so far, Bisgrove has been quite good at making sure that she's tracking that ball and making sure that she's able to get it into her hands every time.
Well, speaking of weather, it looks like the rain has completely stopped here as the sun completely drops below Latham Park across from us in the press booth. So, knock on wood, looking like some dry play for at least a little bit.
We can only hope. Looking at the weather, it's just about past us, just about that big cell that was here earlier, just went right on by us, but
I mean, it's really been a couple days at least for the second week of school of beautiful weather for the Elon students. Really the first big spell of rain that anybody at Elon University has seen in a bit, as the weather was feeling like fall until all of a sudden the clouds came over. And then it looked like a big storm was coming on through, but glad the play was able to continue and the game was able to get off.
And I'm going to sound like a dad here, but we really needed that rain, I think, you know. It's getting a little dry. I think it was a bit too hot. I think we needed to cool down a little bit, you know, get a nice heavy rainstorm in here, but maybe not the best timing, but good rain nonetheless.
Elon looking to just continue to do a bit of the same here. A nice pass up top, but again, just too far. I mean, we've seen this actually a couple times now in Gelhaus. I mean, she has just really advanced it, but then it's either been a little too far or a little too left, a little too right, where in Olivia Potapis, she's just been able to say, all right, I'm going to sit and wait for it to come to me.
And it's interesting, the decision to kind of keep Gelhaus in the midfield more today, when in more recent games, obviously we know against that that game against VMI where she had those 2 goals in those 20 seconds. But she's really a wild card when it comes to being up front. But she does possess passing skills as well. And that's why we're seeing her more in the midfield today.
NC State with another chance, but way too far right. I think the big thing when we go into the half and maybe we look at some statistics is going to be offensively what NC State has done. Again, it might not be reflective, but I think the biggest thing that they're going to have to take a look at is the idea that, yeah, they moved the ball quite well. They did a really good job of giving themselves the opportunity with some corners. They did a really good job of taking some shots. And not to say that Elon didn't, but I think that's something that Elon maybe will have to look at into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, 7 shots for NC State compared to just 1 for Elon. They've certainly been moving this ball around very well. It comes with that 4-3-3 formation. You're really working the ball around pretty balanced. You're making sure everybody gets involved. You're making sure your midfield gets involved. You're making sure they're working that inside much better and keeping it up to your forwards up top and making sure they have opportunities. The only issue now for this Wolfpack side is, can they work on finishing and capitalizing those shots? Because we've seen they have them. I mean, 7 shots today is definitely a lot. They've had 4 corners, and yet we haven't seen them be able to capitalize on any one of them.
Well, we mentioned it. Again, they've played each other, but that 2022 game was a game of a couple more goals. 2-1, Wolfpack were able to get the win, but it was a slow game at first as well. A team that has seen each other a couple of times, but is kind of seeing each other for the first time in 3 years, so pretty much a completely new lineup for the most part.
And I mentioned Nisa Murdoch being the only returning Phoenix that would be seen there, and we'll get looks like an offside call here. And it'll go in possession for Elon. But we were talking about this, the NC State Elon matchup last time was actually here, or was it was actually over in Raleigh at NC State, where at that point the Wolfpack were 4-0-1, and at that point Elon was 1-2-1. So it's safe to say that Payne has definitely learned some lessons about this Wolfpack team, and he's got a little more baggage under his belt as he goes into this one.
And I think as I look across, I got to give a lot of credit to any of the fans as Gelhaus again tries to look to work it up top. But it's just booted any of the fans who came out, any of the family members, students, parents, anyone who came out and is sitting through the rain and waited this one out. Credit to them in the watching the Elon Phoenix.
I know it. It's definitely not fun to sit on these bleachers when they're wet. Just not a great feeling. And hopefully they brought some towels. Great moves right there.
But the Phoenix faithful, they show up. I mean, they were here waiting in the rain. We were watching everybody come through and go to the food truck and maybe try to warm up how they could, as the temperature did drop pre-game with a little bit of action, and now towards the right-hand side of the field. But again, just I mean, it's like a brick wall back and forth between these jerseys. A quick shot there in Issa Murdoch, but just wasn't able to get her foot under the ball and move that one forward. But Alexis Pierce is going to chase this one on down.
And that shot from Murdoch just kind of seemed just not in the right place. I mean, she was swarmed by 3 defenders. There's moments where you take that shot, and I don't think that was one of them, as that one just careened right into 3 defenders at the same time. You could have worked it a little better, tried to form a play right there, but I guess she saw something that she liked, as that one sails just over the right corner of the goal.
We'll have a quick sub, about 9:20 left. Number 17, Lauren McCauley, will come in for, I believe, number 16 in Dan Green. So the quick switch with about 9 left.
And that substitution, you're definitely trying to get some fresh legs in there. I mean, you're really trying to change the tone in these last 9 minutes of the half. Maybe confuse your opponent a little bit. They have a different scouting report. You change personnel. It's definitely a way to kind of break this spell. As Murdoch takes this one.
Murdoch's trying to put a little bit of razzle-dazzle on inside, but just couldn't get it tapped. It almost looked like there was a bit of a trip up in number 1, in number 21, Jess Beck. Wasn't able to put her feet underneath of her.
And we talk about these rainy conditions in that slippery field. It just showed itself right there. I mean, that ball was going right to her feet, but she just got caught on that and wasn't able to keep herself upright.
But I mean, for the first time, that's really a lot of the first kind of offensive. As you'll see, she kind of trips up there. Wonder if it was a slip or if she wasn't. But if that pass was made, she had the movement to almost be a little bit of a challenge for the Wolfpack. One of the first all night, really.
That could have been an easy opportunity right there for the Phoenix. Able to get a chance, maybe get their first shot on goal, but it just couldn't break that time.
Well, and while we set up, we want to highlight a big event coming up. Join Elon alumni, parents, and friends as we celebrate the excellence of Elon student athletes at the 18th Annual Night of the Phoenix on Friday, September 5th at 5:30 in Schar Center. Enjoy a diverse silent auction and a cocktail reception and an exciting program celebrating Elon athletics. For more information, contact the Phoenix Club at phoenixclub@elon.edu or 336-278-6781. An excellent night to honor all of the student athletes and the amazing things they do both on the field or on the track, on the course, really anything on and off. A great night to just highlight them and all the amazing things that are done. NC State trying to tap it in. But Katie Bisgrove will just lean down, put her hands and say, come on over to me.
And that one was just, looks like she could have gotten something going there. I mean, you had someone cutting down on that right wing, but just decides to take a shot, kind of low power. That one just ends up right in the hands of Bisgrove.
Well, I mean, for the Phoenix, we highlighted their last game, but it wasn't until late in the second half that we saw them, you know, kind of break that when that tipping point happened, right? It was the first time for the Phoenix that they had scored all game, and it came in the 77th minute. So they got themselves the chances, but played ultimately very good defense against the Panthers. That's what allowed themselves as a bit of movement yet again by NC State. A really good pass, but a little far right. Mary Frances Simes looks to settle the pace. Couple taps on the inside, but I believe an offsides is going to be called. Free kick moving in Elon's direction.
And that was just a great chance squandered right there for NC State. You can see right there she was offsides. The ref noticed it. And another chance for NC State right there. I mean, just couldn't capitalize off of that one.
As we dip almost below 5 minutes now. Elon, again, I think there's two sides to each story, right? You're going to look to try to maintain your defense here, but also offensively try to get something going. I think the biggest thing that they've really got to work on is giving themselves the opportunity. We talked about it, how NC State gives themselves the chance. We haven't really seen Elon give themselves a whole lot of chances yet.
And that's the interesting thing. Thinking back to that game for Elon against Gardner-Webb just last week, the thing with Elon is they're doing what NC State is doing right now. They got a ton of chances. They worked it in the box a ton. They worked it in super well. But the problem is in that first half and even late into that second half, they couldn't capitalize and work on those chances. And it finally broke with an Issa Murdoch goal. But the same thing is being given to NC State tonight. You know, they're getting a ton of chances. They just can't capitalize on them.
Getting a tap on the inside, but Olivia Protapas just comes on out. She completely came out of her goal and grabbed that one. No fear that anything was going to happen behind her. Took a couple steps out and grabbed it.
Great awareness right there. That's always what you want in your keeper, just being able to know when you can come up and grab that ball. You don't want to get yourself in a bad situation right there by any means, but just a smart routine play right there.
And a good box out and find in our player to watch. Jane Bordelot tries to find it on the inside, but the defense from Elon stays strong.
Great possession right there and great defense right there from the Phoenix. They've kept this trend up all night. They're really working that back line. They're making sure, getting those last-ditch efforts out of the way right there and making sure they're able to capitalize.
I mean, to highlight Jade's play there, she completely did almost like a basketball box out. Found the defender, but rolled off of her and was able to find it. That's that skill that we were talking about in the bit of the open.
And that's what you want to watch for with this defense. You really want to note every player's speed. You really want to note their strengths, their weaknesses, as that one's able to go right out of bounds for a goal kick. But like I said, you really want to get an idea of what these attackers can do. Of course, you have film before the game, but it's a lot of the time it doesn't set in almost as much as until you're on the field, actually being one-on-one with these guys and making sure, okay, now I need to know what they can do well. Now I need to know, are they able to get past me? No, they're not. No, yes, they are. What do I need to do to counter that? A lot of things that you need to take in consideration for real-time adjustments for these defenders, and they've done a great job so far of countering.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be a free kick in Elon's direction. As the Phoenix look to, I guess, utilize the last 2 minutes in a little bit of crunch time. Again, we'll highlight the point. They know how to work the offense in crunch time. We saw it not too long ago. But the NC State defense, I'm thinking, is going to say, let's close this the way we opened it here on Rudd Field. A little bit of, again, movement towards the inside, but it's just been like a 1-2 punch. NC State tries to get something going, and it's been almost in that back line of defense. As we'll have a pretty strong foul called. A free kick will rule in Elon's direction.
We'll take another look at that. Just a tackle right there trying to being made. And Beck sold that one really well, in my opinion. She was able to kind of make that box out and force too much contact from that defender and able to earn him a free kick.
Galhouse tries to look. And Brio tried to tap, but wasn't able to grab it there. And a quick foul there. Foul coming at the wrong time. It's going to give Elon the chance to really set themselves up offensively here with the free kick.
That's definitely what you want right now. Less than a minute to go in this half. You're in your own half. You got a free kick. You got Hoshak on the free kick. Definitely somebody who you want. And this is your perfect time right here.
Put the kick on the inside, but again, NC State just standing up and standing tall. NC State with a bit of the run here, tries to boot it forward, but falls in number 15, Daisy Duda, not able to keep it going. I mean, that was an awesome opportunity there for Elon. but just wasn't able to capitalize as we go under 10 seconds here. I think, Charlie, the big thing going into this second half is how do we transition our amazing defense that we've had into some strong offense where we give ourselves a chance.
Of course, like I said, you got to work on converting on both sides because you can't just do it on one, especially when you haven't even scored yet. In a 0-0 game like this, you can't really park the bus quite yet. And they really need to work on converting these offensive chances and really need to work the ball into the box.
Well, 0-0 your score here from Rudfield. Again, don't go away. Our feature story on women's soccer's own Ashley Brio is up next right here on FloCollege. The name of the game right now has been in defense. The question is someone going to continue their streak in the Elon Phoenix, or is the NC State Wolfpack going to break their losing streak with a win tonight? 0-0 is your score, and we'll be back after this.
Let's talk about SAC. SAC stands for Student Athlete Advisory Committee. We get to connect between teams, communities, administration, the CAA conference, and the NCAA.
Our group is comprised of student athletes from different sports who represent the voice, opinions, concerns, and interests of our group.
CAA SAC provides an opportunity to enhance our leadership abilities.
We make an impact on our team.
We make an impact on our campuses.
We make an impact in our communities.
We are CAA SAC.
Hi, I'm Ashley Brio. I'm a senior and I play on the women's soccer team. For computer science, the reason I got into it was because my brother ended up doing it. And so I didn't really know what I wanted to do coming in here. And he kind of pushed me into doing it, being like, it's a good major to have. Like, it's something that's like up and coming in like outside of school and stuff. I love the program here, mostly because the teachers are just so great. You know everybody in the department. So I love that. It's been awesome. Like, I've had like the same kids in my class the entire time I've been here, and all the teachers are super helpful. They all know each other. They all know every single student. So it's kind of like a community where everyone knows each other, which is super helpful if you're like struggling with anything or just in general. I think it's been great. So last year I built a game in like a group of like, I think there were 5 or 6 of us. And we built a game and released it to Steam. And so that's one of the major requirements in the game design program is to be able to, it's like it was like a 5-month period, about 4-month period. And that whole time we're just working on developing a game and then building it to be able to release to Steam by the end of it. So that's been an awesome program. And other programming languages I've learned that is C# and then C++ is another big one, along with like Unity and Unreal, which are the 2 biggest game engines used. I love being able to take like that knowledge and then kind of like use it outside of it. So I'll just make some games in like Unity or Unreal for fun. And they're not to scale of like the Steam game that I made, obviously, but they're kind of fun to, they're just fun to make, even if you don't like do anything with them, and it keeps like the skills and like the knowledge of like how to make everything up. There was this one internship that I was looking at, and I know it's like a full-time job after, um, working at Universal, and it involves working in a lot of Unity and like creating like game designs for like the rides and everything. And you're also like, it's like advanced technology interactives. So it's like you get to go out into the park and like see the ride and kind of like create one of your own, like how it works, and you get to like model it in Unity and stuff. And I think that's super cool. That'd be super cool to have. Very fun.
Is there any?
The programs have been super helpful here because I feel like I've gained like such like a broad knowledge of so many different things. And it's not just like I only know Python. Now I know like 5 different programming languages before I even get out of college, which I think is a super awesome thing to have in terms of going into like the working like business. Like they're always looking for people that know multiple languages, and I think that's something Elon does really well, is kind of broadens everything out.
The CAA is committed to educating its student athletes and fans on mental health awareness.
Studies have shown that nearly 1/3 of student athletes struggle with their mental health.
Less than half feel comfortable seeking help.
If you are experiencing a mental health condition, please know that you are not alone.
Some things we do for our mental health are
go outside,
read and run,
go to the beach, hang out with my teammates.
For more information on mental health resources, please visit ncaa.org.
Black Bear Nation, let's ride.
Go Tigers.
We are Hampton U.
As one.
Fly Hawks.
Tap the rock, baby.
Hey, Geek Prod. Roll Ups, baby.
Phoenix Rising.
3 more feet.
Go Tribe.
Go Dogs.
One team, one heart.
And we welcome you back to halftime here as we wrap it up at Rudd Field. A 0-0 game still. It was a rainy one, delayed about 30 minutes, but everyone's starting to kind of again get their footing on the slippery field that it's been. It's been a night of a lot of defense, I would say, Charlie, but we've seen a couple of offensive moves as well as we run through some of these first half highlights put together by the amazing Sports Vision crew. But, I mean, all the plays really speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at all of these. They're great defensive moments because they're great offensive opportunities for this Wolfpack side. They just haven't been able to convert that, and that's been a lot of credit to not only Katie Bisgrove, not only this back line, but let's give a little credit here to the ground. I mean, the physicality that's been going on due to this wetness, as we'll take a look at these halftime stats here, it really jumps out at you, these shots, right? NC State, 9 shots to Elon's 2. Very lopsided when you look at attempts and shots on goal. And then you look at the corners down there highlighted, 4 corners for NC State. That's a lot of opportunities right there for an offense that just has not been able to hammer that ball in there. I mean, you've got to be a little mad at yourself, but also give yourself a little bit of grace here because you're getting those chances, right? That's the good thing. You're getting yourself in a position to succeed, and you're getting yourself those opportunities. But you got to get in your head a little bit, not get in your head like, be mad at yourself, but kind of talk with yourself and be like, hey, we're getting 4 corners. We're getting these shots. We're getting these shots on goal. Why aren't they going in? What needs to change? What needs to happen? What do we need to really emphasize here and work on going into this second half to where we can say, hey, sure, we got 9 shots on goal. We got 9 shots. We got 3 shots on goal. But we need to start putting goals on this sheet because the score is still 0-0 in spite of all these. But it really needs to turn into a better offensive finishing game here for the Wolfpack.
Well, and we talked about it. We're going to mention it a couple of times, but not just offensively, but defensively for the Phoenix. Why this game matters in keeping them kind of quiet, they've been on a streak of shutouts. I mean, they've been on 4 games of complete clean sheets, and I think that is important to them, not only to maintain a game of, all right, yeah, we got some wins under our belt, but defensively, if you kind of keep them quiet, that's credit to your defense, your goalie, and what you were able to do to an opponent who, yes, has had a rocky start, but has given themselves the chances to put a couple of balls in the back of the net.
Because regardless of who you're playing here, no matter who you're playing, I mean, 4 shutouts in a row is incredibly impressive for this Phoenix defense and for this Phoenix team overall. And it's really important to not only your offense, but to your defense and team morale and team mentality to say, hey, I just shut out 5 opponents straight. What did you do? It's more of a pat on the back you can give yourself and keep momentum rolling as you go into conference play here for the Phoenix, because that's really where it's going to get physical. That's really where you're going to have to separate yourself from the other teams and kind of prove that you're able to keep that defense going and that momentum up.
Well, we're going to talk schedules as we get underway here. Booted downfield early by Elon, but the schedules, we'll talk a little bit as the half progresses. I think the important thing to mention about them is it's not an easy road ahead for either team. So a win tonight or maintaining some defense here is really important because it gives you, I think, some confidence and security heading into the next couple of games of the season.
Yeah, of course. I mean, NC State just about to get into conference play after this game, and then the next game they go on the road to Campbell. At home to Campbell, another CAA opponent that's definitely going to give them a bit of a challenge, but you really want to capitalize before you go into ACC conference play.
And for Elon, I think it's really important because you're coming off of, all right, now not 1 but 2 non-conference games. They extended their unbeaten streak against non-conference opponents to 11 with their win at High Point. So this game is kind of a couple things on bunch of different levels. You continue a clean sheet if you kind of keep them scoreless. You could grab another win. You could get another non-conference win. All of those things maybe don't matter in the scorebook, perhaps, minus the wins. What matters long-term, though, is the confidence that you have going into the season.
And another thing you can add to that is Elon beating NC State for the first time. Not only that, but beating an ACC opponent for the first time. I mean, like you said, these things may not matter on the stat sheet, but definitely a boost to team morale.
And the first real boot from Bisgrove that we'll see on the left-hand side of the field for the beginning of the half. And she's just going to try to keep on doing it. We mentioned the stats, but to just kind of talk through them, paint the picture a little bit more, I think the thing that's been important was the corners in what they were able to do. 4 corners to NC State's name isn't something to just say and move on. They gave themselves 4 opportunities, and they held Elon, that's the key point, to 1.
And it's always definitely important to have these set pieces ready and have these moments to where you know when you go into a corner that it's going to be dangerous for the other team. Because obviously it's dangerous every time the other team gets a corner, but you really need to have a better strategy when you're going into these because 4 corners absolutely squandered every time is not a great look for your offense.
And looking to get the offense early going is Erica Roberts on the left-hand side, but a battle in the corner between Roberts and Megan Dwyer. It'll result in the hands of Elon. What a great job there in the far left-hand corner. Box her out, keep it clean, and get the ball in your way.
And that's great physicality right there. Great patience. There's 2 things that could go on in that. You could box out your opponent and force them to foul you or kick that ball, or they could get the ball back and then most likely result in a really good opportunity there for NC State. But great job right there by Dwyer, able to keep that contact to her back and making sure that Elon's able to get a goal kick right there.
And you mentioned something I think that was key, was in the corners and in some of the set pieces. 2 of the Pack's 3 goals the entire season so far have come off of set pieces. So if they give themselves the opportunity to set themselves up, statistically, it's very much worked in their favor so far.
It's definitely a good look right there, because you always want a plan, right? You always want to know that whenever you go into those free kicks, corners, moments where you're able to make set pieces like that, that you have a plan and that you're able to give yourself that confidence. But it just hasn't been going for them this game so far.
Well, and you wonder what the conversation was at halftime. You wonder almost a little bit of what it was in each team's locker room. You know, for the Wolfpack, was it, hey, this is a really good look for us. We've played really well. We just haven't offensively gotten a lot going. But then for Elon, Charlie, what do you think the conversation was?
Well, it's interesting because I can imagine that you give a lot of praise there. Coach Payne was most likely telling them, hey, you guys are doing really great at keeping the ball out of the net. You guys are really doing a great job at making sure that when these chances arise for the Wolfpack, you're really good at stopping them. But the thing I would say is don't let yourself get into that spot in the first place, because all it takes is one brush one way, one kick to go one way, and then you'll get yourself in a hole like this. So, of course, doing a great job at stopping those opportunities, but at the first point, they should never be happening.
Again, just a defensive breakdown from NC State. They're really doing a good job of turning that defense into offense a bit more. I mean, although the offense hasn't resulted maybe in a visual on the scoreboard, they've done a good job of just, I think, keeping the ball out of Elon's territory. You just saw it here. Get the ball and get it past the midfield line. As Brooklyn Holt tried to work it on the right-hand side. A really good move put on across towards the inside, but better defense there from Elon and booted on out. No questions asked.
And that's what we've been seeing from Elon all game. I mean, they let that ball get in that opportunity. They give you a bit of a heart attack, but they always slow it down right there at the end, getting the ball out of play, getting it out of the box, making sure that you're keeping your team on that level.
Just a misread there from Elon's number 5, Megan Dwyer, cross towards the inside, but just tapped and then again tapped on out. Elon puts the hands waving in their direction, but the ref says different.
Just another missed opportunity right there from the Wolfpack. I mean, that one was a great chance. That, like, you may not get many better chances to score on that one. It's just you got to be better at finishing those, and they just couldn't finish it that time.
Well, and a lot of factors kind of come into tonight. You wonder if the weather, you wonder if the delay, playing a non-conference opponent. As NC State looks to break it down again, Brooklyn Holt just trying to get the tap. And I will tell you, in number 21, Mary Frances Simes really working the right-hand side. I mean, she's completely tried to get it in. Her and Brooklyn Holt have been a 1-2 kind of duo. But better defense there, again, from Elon on the right-hand side.
And yeah, and it looks like we'll get another corner here for the Wolfpack. They're 5th so far, which not a lot of teams get to say that, but they've forced a lot of these corners. They've just not been able to capitalize off of them. And I think they really need to get something going here, as we'll take the corner right here.
Mana Nakata with the corner. Cross towards the inside, but headed out there from Elon. They're going to stay in their possession, but you wonder if that was a statistic that Elon looked into, that 2 of their goals have come off of set pieces. So obviously, when a set piece is available, it seems to be working for NC State.
It seems you really game plan for these kind of situations. You know, okay, they have it in the corner. This one's taken.
And try it again. And it looked a little tricky for a second, but just bounced to the right-hand side, bounced off the right-hand side of the net, and wasn't able to hook it on the inside.
And just another squandered opportunity, the 6th corner this game for the Wolfpack that they just haven't been able to go. We'll take another look here. They'll try to find that one in, try to get the back heel right there from Wong, but that one just couldn't go in. It looked like it got a bit of a deflection there.
And I wonder, you know, possession-wise, the possession time definitely has to be favored so far in the hands of the Wolfpack. I mean, they've kind of held the ball for longer. They've had more set pieces. They've had more corners. It's definitely been ruling in their favor with a quick breakaway here now from Elon. But again, the breaks put on in number 21 from the Wolfpack.
And that was a great counterattack chance there for Elon, but they just couldn't capitalize off of it. They couldn't get it going as well. And it was great defensive play right there from Siamese.
And Elon tries to set themselves up again. It's just going to roll on out of bounds and over towards the Wolfpack's direction. But I think all the points that we've mentioned throughout the game have kind of been key. Two teams, two different starts, a lot of questions I think asked. We talked about the idea, as there's a bit of back and forth action towards the right-hand side, that the lineup and the actual players for NC State are new, but respectfully, the coaching staff for NC State, as we have a quick sub coming in, number 14, Maddie Miller, for number 15, Daisy Duda. But we have to kind of highlight the point. It's a completely new coaching staff as Elon breaks away a little bit here in Ashley Bria, who we highlighted at the half. The coaching staff, Charlie, talk about it, because I think that that's something for NC State. They're not just working with the players, but they're working with pretty much a new kind of leadership in the team as well.
Entirely. I mean, a brand new staff for Higgins as he comes in here. Brings in all of his people that he wants. A lot of Lenore Ryan, where he used to coach. His assistant head coach at the moment, Joanna Finema, was the previous head coach at Lenore Ryan, his alma mater. Safe to say he definitely kept his eye out.
But I think, to your point, it's a big thing because he brought an entirely new coaching staff to Raleigh, as Pratapas just lays on the ball there, able to grab it easy. But I mean, I think for Higgins, we talked about, okay, it's his first season as the head coach in NC State, but he brought in new people as well. So, all right, maybe they're like rougher starts of the season could also be a testament that they're not only playing with new people, but they're being coached by a various amount of members as well. As again, we'll see number 21 for NC State putting on the moves on the right-hand side. Mary Frances Siamese, she's had the footwork all night, Charlie.
She certainly has. I mean, she
great,
works that one right in there.
Yeah, a great cross on the inside, but again, two Elon jerseys just swarm it. I mean, it was really led there by number 12, and Ava Heldner. Got to take a look at it.
And that low cross attempt right there just gets in front, squandering what could have been a scoring opportunity for NC State.
Well, Heldner just met our player to watch in Jane Bordelot. I mean, they just completely collided, but if Heldner wasn't there, you wonder if that again could have been another opportunity for NC State. And a bit of a breakup again towards the left-hand side. I think the biggest question now is going to be who's going to kind of break this stall that we're in first. And when that stall is broken, then how's the other team going to respond? And if they can respond, because it's really been a game of defense. Across towards the inside, but again, just booted out. Really no NC State offense there to get it towards the inside.
And talking to your point about strategy, it all changes, of course, if you get that first goal. As there's a loft into the box that's taken away by that Elon defense. But if you break that and you get the first goal, you have a lot more leeway in what you can choose to do. For both teams, it's more likely that they park the bus, kind of make a defensive stance as that shot goes way out. But you really start to work on your defense, okay? Like, you're not working to score as much anymore. as we'll get a replay on this, but you can really hammer in your defense and sub off your offensive guys and get on your defensive players to make sure that absolutely nobody is scoring.
Well, Abby Brinkner will come in for number 21, Jess Beck. Abby Brinkner, the 5'9" defender, freshman out of Bedmond, North Carolina, attended Eastern Alamance. So she's a local. She knows Redfield probably pretty well. She'll try to make her impact now. And again, just uphold a pretty steady defense that's played thus far.
And you'll see a lot of coaches do this strategy, turning to their freshmen, turning to their younger players to kind of get something going, because you're often looking for it, as that one goes right into the referee. So we'll get a drop kick here. But like I said, you see coaches turn to this strategy. You want new things. You want to try new things if the current ones aren't working. Turning to your freshmen as an idea of, okay, hey, maybe if we throw in some young legs, some fresh blood in there, we can work that offense a little better and something new could happen.
Skelhaus broke away there for a second, and it could have been a dangerous collision there. In number 4, Ashley Brio, in the goalie, Olivia Protapas, she was way out of the goal and didn't even try to dive on it, but just kicked it on out. Gotta take a look.
And you'll see right there, it was an interesting decision right there from Protapas to come up and off of that. But of course, had she not, she would have been left with a one-on-one, which most likely would have gone Brio's way.
I mean, that could have been dangerous, though. If an Elon offenseman came off the right-hand side, there could have been one more pass and an open goal. But it was a good job by her to play some steady defense. As you can see, she's even all the way out of the goal right now. Another opportunity here for NC State to set themselves up. As again, the upcoming schedules are the big point to kind of keep in mind. As Daisy Duda tried to work the left-hand side, will she get it on the inside? No, she's going to work the top half, and the passing's just going to continue. Brooklyn Holt tries to get it in, and it sails over the left-hand side. Katie Bisgrove just kind of jogged on after and chased it.
And that was a bold one for Holt. I mean, she really just took it to herself. She says, fine, I'll do it myself. I'll take this in by myself. Dribbling around multiple defenders. Looks like we'll get a stoppage of play here, but take a look at this. I mean, the sweet moves from Holt, just getting around, trying to set up the shot herself off that left foot, but it just soars just a bit too much to the left.
Well, I mean, honestly, she had the space to do so in front of her, so you wonder if she was able to just hook it a little bit more, that could have fallen into the pocket of the left-hand side of the goal, and you wonder if that would have been the breaking point here for the 0-0 score.
That's been the question all night for this Wolfpack team. Can one of these offensive opportunities just go in? I mean, it's got to be frustrating getting all these chances and just not being able to convert a single one of them.
Well, and I think for Elon, they're used to this level of defense with the continued shutouts. I mean, we'll talk about, here's a fun statistic. 1995 was the last 5-game shutout streak. If Elon were to get it tonight, they were to match that as they're on the 4-game streak now. So as we take a quick look at the replay here, that would be huge. I mean, if they're able to kind of continue this, they're matching a streak from 1995. That's a huge confidence booster, especially defensively.
I know, and of course, none of these players on this team were even alive in 1995. So something that would be incredibly historic for them and this Elon side that I'm sure that they would love to accomplish, because that would provide a heavy boost to team morale as they are just 2 games out from conference play.
So quick, again, tap towards the inside, and it got loose for a second. I think Olivia Petrapa's heart kind of dropped for a second. She had to take a deep breath, but excellent recovery there by her. You have to take a look at this because this could have been dangerous.
Yeah, that pass just goes just a bit over the head, and she can't grab on so well, and a missed opportunity right there for the Phoenix. As we're making a play on the right side over here, Elon gets the control back.
It looked like Maddie Miller from NC State was working it, but honestly, there was an Elon player in that vicinity. So if that were to have rolled a little bit too far right, there could have been, again, another chance. We saw it when she came out of the goal. We saw it when she dropped the ball a little bit. Again, there's those conditions, coming into play a bit more than maybe some of the players had anticipated.
And it continues to just be these offensive chances, not only now for NC State, but now for Elon. These easy offensive chances that you just can't work on capitalizing, and that's really been the key here for both these teams tonight, is getting yourself into that position to succeed. Sure, you can do that, but you got to be able to finish it.
His last touch there from Elon, but I think, yeah, that's your point. I mean, anyone listening, you're going to think we sound like a broken record because we do, but the chances have been invaluable tonight with how many of them there have been on both sides. But since we talked at the half, 6 corners now for NC State, only 1 for Elon.
And this one's about to make it 7, which is crazy. I mean, 7 corners in this game. As we talked about earlier about their capitalization on set pieces, 2 of their 3 goals coming from said set pieces. Can they break this one? We'll see in just a second.
Daisy Duda looking to do it for her team. Across and tap in on the inside. A couple of NC State players touch a battle down low, but ultimately just completely booted out and going to be kept in the direction. It looked like it was Issa Murdoch who had her last touch on that one, as it'll be a throw-in for NC State.
And those kind of plays make you hold your breath a little bit because it's in the box for a long time, and you don't know what's going to happen. But great play right there from Murdoch, as this one's lofted into the box and headed away. But great play and heads-up awareness right there from Murdoch to keep that scoring opportunity put to rest.
Brooklyn Holt goes down. Again, there's the slip on the field. Wasn't able to corral the ball, but I think, again, we just got to keep underscoring the point there of how that could have been another opportunity for them. Who was going to get it done, and who's going to be able to set it up for a team, because the set pieces, again, have been key for NC State. As on the flip side, Issa Murdoch's going to look to work it a little bit here with a breakaway. Going to try to tap it, but it's going to sail way right of the goal. But to her credit, she did send Olivia Petrapas flying.
And that was definitely a great run right there. As you look, she makes the break past the defender, gets across the halfway line, moving around a couple defenders on her, has that momentum going forward, but that one just goes by. As we'll get a corner here for Elon, their second of the night.
I mean, a really good job there by Murdoch to set her team up. Now Grace Gelhaus is going to look to try to put her signature on this one. Taps it on in, headed, touched a couple times, but ultimately just booted on out from NC State in number 15. A couple of touches. Gelhaus puts on the footwork. I mean, she's incredible in that department. It's in the speed and in the consistency of how she just sees the field. We've seen it in the passes tonight. Yes, a couple maybe could have been a little bit closer, but the vision downfield is so key from Gelhaus.
And it's definitely a testament to how this game has been going tonight. I mean, Elon's just been trying to boss the midfield, and in the most part, their success has been on the defensive end on keeping these out. Like we mentioned earlier, as NC State pushing it up here.
Again, NC State, but what an excellent block there by Murdoch. Let's talk offense. Then she does it defensively. Great job to stand tall and just act like a brick wall.
And Murdoch's one of those players where you can kind of trust her on both ends of the field. I mean, obviously a great offensive player, but she has her moments on the defensive side. She may be a forward, but she definitely knows how to make those stops on defense.
As that one, that could have been close again, but Bisgrove was able to use her hands and just kind of push that one on out. A look on the inside, but Bisgrove comes out. It's going to keep on moving. A couple of touches by NC State, a little bit of dangerous territory, and that one's going to be a staple will be put in on that one. Probably, Charlie, one of the most dangerous offensive movements. You have to take a look. That's an excellent save there by Bisgrove. Standout star in goal.
I mean, this was just, my goodness, I was holding my breath for this entire play because so many chances, so many opportunities right here for the Wolfpack. I mean, you got a great shot, a power shot outside. It bounces off the inside defenders. That one rebounds, and then you get it inside. But that chance, again, you just can't give Bisgrove enough credit for what she does for this team. I mean, another great save right there as Elon keeps this game 0-0.
And we talked about it, but for the second time in 3 weeks, Bisgrove was tabbed as the CAA Defensive Player of the Week on Monday. Second time in 3 weeks that she's done that. She's anchored the Elon shutout victories at Queens. It's a little bit of footwork here put on, and it's going to rule in favor there for the Wolfpack. But, I mean, she's done a really good job all season. I mean, her 7 stops were one of her season high, which, Charlie, she did in the opening game for the Phoenix this season.
What a great way to start your season off. I mean, and she's obviously carried that up until now. She's been a defensive anchor and a brick wall. I mean, just a great performance so far from her sophomore season.
I think she just reads it really well. I said the word before, but it's almost the anticipation of not trying to guess where the ball's going, but wait for the ball to come to her and then make her move. It's really skilled from Bisgrove.
And that's the difficult part as a keeper. You can't rely too much on prediction because, of course, players have patterns, but every time something can change, and if you guess one way and go another, it's just like a penalty kick, as you can't overstep it too much. And speaking of overstepping, quite a great move right there. Aoki.
It was a really good move. She stepped one way and hooked it. Going to be across towards the inside, but again, just way too far. Brooklyn Holt going to keep it alive. A tap, a header over the top of the crossbar. Bisgrove just looked on up and watched it sail over, but again, another dangerous opportunity there for NC State.
And this has been the theme of the night. I mean, we talked about it all night. Missed opportunity after missed opportunity. This was right there. This was prime position, but that header just goes a bit too much over the crossbar. And an opportunity right there, another for NC State to go ahead, but they can't.
I mean, that was another dangerous opportunity. They really saw it well. It's a couple of players are going to tumble. Again, you'll see Petrapa's just way out of her goal, waiting for that one to roll to her. But I mean, I know headers don't appear on our stat sheet, and we didn't look at it, but I wonder the number that kind of came into play tonight. How many were defensive headers that kind of prevented anything from coming in goal, and how many were headers that were shots on goal? How many kind of came into play when you look at the statistics overall?
I mean, talk about using your head here, Grace. They've really been amazing at both Elon and NC State on the defensive side, heading these balls outside, these opportunities that get into the box that are able to be headed out. But on offense, it's been their goal opportunities that have mostly come from headers. So we got a chance here.
A really good look there for Megan Dwyer on the inside, but way over that right top corner of the goal. I mean, that was probably, yet again, another great look upfield. We've seen a couple of them just not able to get it towards the net and challenge Petrapas at all.
Definitely insane. I mean, this one had it. This one almost had it, but we talk about the ground. The ground's slippery. You can't really get a good hold on that field and a good positioning, because if that one had a little more grip on the bottom, you could have arched that ball right into the net.
I think that's really been the biggest challenge tonight is it's all the what ifs, obviously, but the what if all right, say it didn't rain and the wet field really wasn't something to keep in mind. How would that have had an impact on some of these goals that just sailed way too far over if traction was a bit more of a element in tonight's game? And I think we kind of continue to bring it up, but the offense, we talk traction, we talk shots. An excellent stat to keep in mind and a pretty astonishing stat to keep in mind. 17 shots for NC State tonight to Elon's 4. So, I mean, they're not afraid to put up anything, some towards the goal, 5 shots on goal, but 17 overall is pretty impressive for a team that's had a rocky season.
And it's certainly a lopsided statistic. I mean, Elon's 4 shots to NC State's 17. And despite their bad play, like you mentioned, at the start of the season, start of the rocky season for this Wolfpack team, they've really been playing a great game offensively, just unable to capitalize off these chances. But you got to feel good about the way you've been playing. There's obviously things to change. You have to change capitalizing off of these moments. You have to make sure that these chances are coming more often and that you're able to finish on those.
There's a little bit of footwork, but just a bit of a misread there from Ashley Brio. Too many NC State defenders and not enough offense. Bisgrove's going to sail this one on out. But yeah, I think to your point, we're just continually saying the same thing. It's not even that there's been a lot of offensive chances. Defense has really just been the name of the game tonight, and the capitalization of offense hasn't been as present.
Certainly for both teams. Defense has been astounding. Allowing your goalkeeper to know soundly that your defense is most likely going to make a stop every single time that they've got the ball in the box has been probably helping these keepers feel a little bit better about themselves and feeling a bit more confident that their defense is going to help them make a stop.
Tries to sail it in on the inside, but again, NC State's just there. Ashley Brio tried to settle it just a little bit, wasn't able to do so in time. Great slide tackle, though, by number 15 and Abby Brinkner. Tried to keep that one alive. NC State will retain possession, but she did another excellent job of trying to help her offense stay on her side of the field.
And it's great play right there. Good attest to this offense so far. Just need to work on capitalizing.
And again, a mystery by NC State, but way to grab it back in Mana Nakata. Will be a chase down towards the left-hand side of the field. It's going to be between Abby Brinkner, who we just saw on the right-hand side, and Erica Roberts. Great job there from Brinkner to keep the ball in Elon's name.
And that was almost a disastrous play, really. They lost the ball, got an easy counterattack for NC State. But luckily, I mean, you saw the ability from the freshman to keep that ball out of play.
And while we have, again, another break in the action, in case you missed it one more time, an important event coming up at Elon University. Join Elon alumni, parents, and friends as we celebrate the excellence of Elon student athletes at the 18th Annual Night of the Phoenix on Friday, September 5th at 5:30 p.m. in Schar Center. Enjoy that diverse silent auction, events and snacks and hors d'oeuvres, and an exciting program that really celebrates Elon athletics here. For more information, contact the Phoenix Club at phoenixclub@elon.edu or 336-278-6781. An excellent night, really highlighting our fantabulous student athletes here and all they do, not only in the classroom but off the field, really in the community. Great night highlighting some great students.
It's great vocab right there, fantabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah,
kind of just came to me, and
yeah.
I thought it would be a nice addition.
It works.
It's going to be, I think, a quick foul on Elon's side. Free kick ruling in NC State's name as we dip again below 15 minutes here. Mary Frances Simney is going to put it right towards Katie Bisgrove's hand. She's going to sit and wait, almost just like a wide receiver in the NFL, waiting for it to come her way. You got to look at it again. It's just the anticipation here. Watch this.
And this is a dream for a keeper. I mean, you really want to just a ball that comes right to you, and that's what she got just there. Just a shot that didn't have enough power on it, sails right into the hands of Bisgrove.
But again, not trying to make one move or do a little bit too much of one thing or another. Just play it simple, and I think that's what she's really good at. As there's going to be a couple of taps, and I think Megan Dwyer thought it was going to rule in favor of Elon as she talked to the refs for a minute. NC State's going to keep it, though, on their side of the field. As Erica Roberts, again, is going to try to beat Dwyer on the kick on the inside. Katie Bisgrove just comes on out and lays on the ball. What a great save there from Bisgrove.
She has been spectacular tonight. I mean, we can't sing her praises enough, really. She has been amazing. And the ability right here to anticipate and know when this ball's coming in, have so much confidence that 13 up here is not going to make the play in, and being able to assure yourself that you're going to make that play. Just great ability right there from Bisgrove.
It's almost like a sail and save. She just puts enough pressure on one foot to completely sail, and then know the ball's going to come her way. It's simple, yet it's so creative by Bisgrove. And another foul, but this time it's going to be on NC State. Elon with the free kick here. Good opportunity to set themselves up on the right side of the field. Abby Brinkner is going to sail it on in. It looks like, again, she slipped on that one a little bit. You can even see it on some of the footing on the field. So there's a bit of a breakaway here, a dangerous one. Erica Roberts on the left-hand side kicks it on in to number 13, and it sails towards the right-hand side. It looked like number 13 in Jane Bordelou, who we highlighted with the 2 goals already, was going to do it for the Wolfpack.
And that right there was the rain doing its job. I mean, you saw it on this end with making her slip on that free kick. Brinkner just couldn't stay under that. But up here, you can also see it. She slips. She slips. You see that wet patch come up, and what could have been a surefire goal and a one-on-one opportunity right there for Bordelou just couldn't convert on that one. The elements are certainly doing their job tonight.
Bordelou knew it, too. As soon as she hit the ground, she kept her head in the ground, because I think for her, that would have been a sure-sailed goal. But it was just the elements again. But NC State's not going to shy away. Mana Nakanya tries to get something working over there with her teammate in number 15, Daisy Duda. And that's going to be a grab. I think that Daisy Duda knew it as soon as she did it, too. It was the 2 arms and the pull that's going to draw the flag every time.
Yeah, and she just, you knew it. You don't even try to argue it at that point. I mean, she just got too handsy right there and made her fall over. Just not what you want in that moment, to give up an opportunity and give up a possession on your side.
And Brinkner's going to sail this one past the midfield line in a battle, but Murdoch will kind of sail it on over to her teammate in Brio. A bit of a breakaway here. Can she find it? No. Protapas just comes on out. She's excited about that one. What an excellent job. It looked like Miranda Dumare had it on it. She had the tap. You have to look at it in number 25 for Elon. But, I mean, Protapas was excited, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like she just tried to chip the keeper right there. As you'll see it right here. Tries to play that ball in, has an excellent opportunity.
We have a corner for Elon. Protapas almost one-hand grabbed that one. Elon's going to give themselves another opportunity here as we dip right below 10 minutes here. 0-0, still your game at Rudd Field, NC State and Elon. I mean, 2 of the biggest opportunities there. It's going to sail high and fly on over the right-hand side of the crossbar. Everybody in the press booth sails up and sails down. They thought they were going to have it for the Elon Phoenix there. But, I mean, Protapas, how can you not credit her enough for the 3 different saves she's had?
That was just a missed opportunity, but my goodness, that one was just feet away from going right into the goal. As my goodness, this scoreline certainly does not tell the story about it enough. I mean, this has been an exciting game despite it. But my goodness, what great defensive and offensive play from both of these teams.
It's going to be a chase for the ball downfield, but I mean, something big, I think what happened, as it's going to stay in NC State's possession here, is going to be the idea of what Protapas did. As you see her right here on the camera, she put her hand up and completely grabbed it. Jane Bordelou, though, looking to change the pace as 2 Elon defenders completely swarm her. Going to try to keep it alive. Again, they're really working this left-hand side of the field. You can see it in the foot marks all over the green. A kick towards the inside, but Bisgrove there yet again.
And that one right there, just another routine save right there from Bisgrove. She's been astounding. That one was a bit dangerous at times. I mean, we thought, an attacker coming into the box right there. But, of course, Bisgrove making the excellent collection.
And foul on NC State. Free kick here for Elon as they're looking a bit more more of a hurried pace right now. It wasn't as slow as they were towards the beginning of the game. All right, we'll go into the half 0-0. They want to break it. I mean, obviously, both teams want to break it, but I think you can see the hurried kind of pace here a little bit with trying to set something up is happening a little bit quicker than we might have seen before. Abby Brinkner going to sail this one in a little bit to the left-hand side. A couple taps from Elon, but it's going to go in Brooklyn Holt's direction. And it's going to be a goal kick here for NC State.
And you mentioned it earlier, the different pace of play for both of these teams, especially for Elon. I mean, at the start, of course, you mentioned it. They were much more relaxed. They were much more defensive-minded, but I think you can see with these substitutions that Neil Payne is making that we're moving towards more of an offensive structure here. We're trying to, okay, we want to break this. We want to get this win. We're not playing for a draw here. We really want to have this momentum to continue. And just under 8 minutes to play here. We're at the 7.5 minutes left mark. Someone's got to give.
Well, that's the thing. You wonder, number one, if that's going to be someone, and two, how it's going to come, because we've seen a couple of shots tonight that you wonder if the field wasn't as wet or wasn't as slippery as it is. Could this score look different? I bet the answer is yes, as this one sailed inside. But Katie Bisgrove just completely hops. She's going to take a breather here on this one, deservedly so, and lay on the ball. But what a great job there yet again from Bisgrove to just simply be there.
I mean, she's been proving throughout this entire net that she deserves those CAA Defensive Player of the Week awards. And based off her play this match, she should be putting herself in contention for another one as that ball sails into the left corner.
Well, and Daisy Duda looking again, do something. Could have almost been tapped on the inside. They're going to battle. It's between number 13 as she completely hooks, and Jane Bordaloo. You can see she's getting frustrated because she just completely grabbed Elon. I think it was number 27 for Elon, Gabby Hoshak. Just put her arm around her and hooked her.
Yeah, and a lot of physical play right there, especially from Hochak. You are really in that moment. Your mind is no goal, no goal. Don't let her get the ball back. Don't let her have it. And then on the other end, Bordaloo's like, I need this ball. Give it back. We need to score. And it seems like that aggressive mentality just got the better of her, and she draws that foul. So we're not going to see a call here.
6 minutes left, still at Rudd Field, but Brooklyn Holt, she's been running the right-hand side, looking to do some more with it, but Bisgrove puts her hands up and just blocks it like she's playing some Elon volleyball at the net. What a great job there yet again from Bisgrove.
That was a great save right there. I mean, my goodness, that looked a little scary right there. You can see Holt with that outside foot trying to get it, but she just comes right in, Bisgrove, putting her hands out like she's Superman. I mean, my goodness, what a save.
An opportunity here, though, for NC State as they sail it with a throw-in on the inside. A couple of taps here. Elon looking to just get it out of dangerous territory, and that's exactly what Grace Gelhaus is doing over there.
And at this point, it becomes a mental decision. Do you need to try and play for the win, or based off how possession is going, do you settle in and play for the draw? And it looks like we'll see a decision from both of these teams pretty shortly here.
A quick hook on the inside, a couple of taps, but it's all Elon over there, or at least it looked like for a minute. Actually, NC State's going to grab it back pretty quick, and Emily Wong looking to put the moves on. Last touch there from number 27 in Gabby Hoshak. Again, the throw in on a bit more of a hurried pace here. Not as patient as they were in the first 45. Across, but just wasn't able to even make towards the inside of the net. Actually falls behind and into the netting behind the fence.
And now this will be a good opportunity for Elon to kind of go on the run here. Can they make sure that they turn this defensive stop into something better, maybe a goal, something that's kind of going to get your energy up and keep the momentum swinging in your favor? Because at the moment, NC State's just been all over this possession. They've had multiple shot attempts, and they've really been showing that they can control the midfield a little better than the Phoenix.
Well, NC State just took the ball back completely. Elon wasn't able to even get anything out of that goal kick whatsoever. And NC State giving themselves almost an opportunity here to set it up again. As Yuna Oki tried to get it in, but was sailed out Alex Moore kept it alive for a minute. Elon looking to just get it out of dangerous territory. Katie Bisgrove trying to do so. You can see the entire momentum of the white jerseys just trying to move, trying to force a breakaway here, but just nobody upfield there to grab that pass. But a good look ahead, right momentum there as Petropoulos is trying to move things along, putting her hand up and say, get back, get back. Again, a couple of colliding bodies in the middle of the field, but Brooklyn Holt putting the gas behind her movement here, running the right-hand side of the field with a couple of passes. Can it be broken up? No, a quick cross on the inside, but headed out from Elon. Again, a couple of taps, some dangerous territory. And I think it might have been a foul. We're going to stop the clock here. A yellow card is actually awarded. And you can see the lone NC State fan vocalizing his thoughts.
And that was, you can see right up here, Bordelot just getting a little too much, gets the shoulder check on here. Big time, I mean, my goodness, not even a question. Just absolutely lays into Alexis Pierce. And he's not happy about that.
Well, I mean, it was the right call, though, truthfully. I mean, the shoulder in, it's obviously collision, and there's going to be some colliding, but I think that's just kind of getting tired and a little too excessive. Can Elon do something with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left? Your answer's coming soon as NC State is looking to break their losing streak, and Elon looks to continue theirs. As there's a quick cross on the inside, but sails way on over. Grace Galhouse is just trying to hook it and keep it. But Mary Frances Simes, who's been really working with Brooklyn Holt, who she's going to get it on over to now all night, they have really been the main two people who've crossed it on the inside a couple of times. And a couple of taps here, a chase for the ball. Last touch looks like it's going to be from NC State in number 13, Jade Bordelot. We have a couple of subs here. Number 5 coming in Megan Dwyer, and number 8 in Charlize Grimes are both going to come in now for the Phoenix.
And it's interesting here. We talked about this earlier, bringing in the fresh legs. You know, Charlize Grimes, a freshman from North Carolina, coming in here, seeing if she can make an impact here for this Phoenix side with just a minute and a half to play here.
It's going to be a toss in there, but again, Mary Frances Simes just moving now over to the midfield, grabbing that one back. A minute 34, you can imagine the thought in NC State's head is, how can we capitalize now? As you can see the fresh legs in number 8, Charlize Grimes, just completely chasing it down across that midfield line like she's walking a tightrope. Neil Payne is trying to direct his players a little bit, saying move down and try to hold on. As there's a bit of movement across towards the inside. 2 NC State players, a bit dangerous, but again, just didn't get the right bounce. As all of the NC State sideline put their hands on their head and said that could have been the one.
And you talked about it earlier, Neil Payne directing his players. As we get another look at this header that just missed the goal, but directing his players, shifting that back line towards the goal, because you really want to make sure at these moments when NC State has possession, as you can see a couple of guys over here rooting for him, but as NC State gets possession more and more, you got to move the back line back.
Well, we're under now 30 seconds left in the match. Elon tried to use the boot from Katie Bisgrove over the midline. Everybody's trying to move over. The thought now for Elon is just kind of hold tight here. And it looks like that's what they're going to try to do as they work that right-hand side. And as we dip now below 10 seconds, NC State tries to get something in the middle, but Elon's just going to say, no, let's close this one. 0-0, your score here from Rudd Field. when all was said and done, it was 20 shots for NC State, 6 for Elon, 13 fouls for NC State, and 4 for the Phoenix. But the big thing to keep in mind is how many chances they gave themselves. 7 for the Wolfpack and 3 for the Phoenix. Charlie, give me your final thoughts here on what you saw tonight and what they can take away from each side.
Well, from what I saw, it was just a team who could not capitalize in NC State, and Elon, a team who was able to provide those chances and get them averted. I mean, it's interesting here, the numbers we just talked about it. 20 shots on goal for the 20 shots for the Wolfpack, 6 shots on goal. Just no conversion coming from either of those. It's incredibly odd. 7 corners. I mean, they couldn't convert on any one of them. And it's something you got to go back, and you got to go back to the drawing board. What did you do right? We love those chances, but how can we really make those better? How can we actually finish these chances instead of just moving them awry?
Well, defensively, they kept them quiet, and the Phoenix did everything that they could to kind of keep this a 0-0 score. The shutout streak is something that we've continually talked about, and it's been something that the Wolfpack tried to do tonight. They kept the Elon Phoenix quiet, and so did the Wolfpack to the Phoenix. It's been a good game. Thank you to Charlie Eldridge and everybody in the booth and the crew overall for everything they did. 0-0 your score. Final here from Rudd Field. It was a good match between the in-state Carolina foes, but ultimately it'll draw between 0-0. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.